My ancestors crossed the ocean by boat from England back in 1633 and settled Hartford, Connecticut. They never could have imagined Englishmen flying to Florida to see a big mouse. It's true. And now we go geeking on Walt Disney World the English way. Welcome to episode 64 of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast. I am your co-host, Curtis Stone. We are the family-friendly father-daughter podcast that will feed your passion for Walt Disney World by sharing our experiences and opinions, as well as others from our community of passionate Walt Disney World geeks. And tonight is actually a kind of a special night, I'll call it, because although we don't have Lindsay here, so I knew that there would be times, especially with her schedule and being down in Disney World, there would be times I might have to have a special co-host, a guest co-host come on. And luckily, I reached out to my community of past guests, and I got someone here with me tonight, and it is Tony McDaniel. Hi, Tony. Thanks for co-hosting with me tonight.
No problem. Thanks, Curtis. Thanks for asking me to help.
I'm glad you can make it. It's a little bit early here in the United States for a podcast. We just got home from work. I know I did.
We're about half an hour, 45 minutes ago.
But that's good. We can get to bed early tonight instead of staying up all night geeking on Walt Disney World. All right. Yeah, it was really cool. I reached out to a bunch of my past. I've been talking with them quite a bit. We did some of the roundtable. And I just started a private Facebook group, which is just for my past guests. And also, if you contribute to the show through the Patreon, and I'll talk about it at the end, you can be part of that Facebook group. And we talk about private Disney World things, I guess. I don't know. It's just going to be a nice, safe place to have some fun and chat with former guests. And I can bounce things off them and all that kind of stuff. So that should be fun. And hey, Tony, I was looking at your Facebook profile or something you posted on there. Apparently you are Tarzan.
Yeah. So I guess that's what this particular app thinks that today thought I was like 83% that Tarzan was my doppelganger or something like that.
Doppelganger. Yeah, I got to try that.
That's what it was.
Now that I see that out in your Facebook feed, and it says your strengths are wild and independent. Is that true?
Well, I disagree with that. I don't think I'm that wild. I'm 43 years old. I think I'm way past my wild days.
And it says your weakness is you dress badly.
Well, that's possible.
I
don't know.
How'd they get that from you? Did you fill out some kind of little profile?
There may have been some really bad pictures in there from, it may have been that 1970s, Throwback Thursday picture from last week of me with my plaid bell bottoms on and,
So Facebook, this program must be just sifting through all your Facebook pictures and content.
That's kind of what I'm assuming is why you're doing it.
All right. Hey, Tony, what was I going to ask you? Tony, what do you think of my little intro of my ancestors from England? That is actually true. I have traced my family history back to England to a guy, his name was Samuel Stone, who was one of the first settlers of Hartford, Connecticut.
Well, that's probably a little more than I've got going on with my family tree. My paternal side of the family, we kind of dropped off somewhere around 1840 out of North Carolina. I don't know where beyond that. And then on my biological mother's side of the family, they all came from England in the early 1800s. So we don't have as an illustrious of a history as you do. But that's pretty neat that they settled Hartford. That helped settle Hartford.
I had a missing link. I had a bunch of records that my dad had given me, and then I got a call. We both got a call from a fellow down in Florida, of all places, and he mentioned he had heard about some records that I had that were left down through the family, and I had a missing link, and he actually was doing the research. He worked at a college, and he was ex-military, but he did this genealogy on the side and was very serious about it. and he actually found the missing link for me that traced my roots back to this Samuel Stone. He's a reverend who settled Hartford, so that's how I know that. At least that's what I claim.
Well, there you go.
I looked up the boat because I found the boat that came over in 1633. That's why I knew the boat and the timing. But anyways, the reason I bring that up really is because we have a guest tonight, and he is from the United Kingdom, from the Isle of Wight, which is really cool. And his name is Kevin Curtis Allen. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good, Curtis. Very good.
I'm so glad to have you. I know you reached out to me through email, probably from one of my invitations on the podcast.
I think it was Facebook originally,
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I know we've been chatting on the email back and forth, and it's been a little while. We did test our Skype a couple weeks ago, and I'm so glad we could get you on the show.
Yeah. It's nice to speak to you. I assume that rather than a round table, this is more of a coffee table episode then.
Yeah, that works for me. I'm working on my dining room table.
Oh yeah, I'm working on the large coffee table. I have a nest of 3 in my front room, which is off bounds to the boys. So
it's kind of interesting. We got 5 hours difference, so scheduling we knew was going to be challenging. But I'm so glad we could get together tonight. It's a Friday night, thank God. So Kevin, we were talking before we got started. You know, I have a Rose and Crown mug for the occasion with a Yingling beer, which is actually American, but it's all I had. I only had one left,
unfortunately.
Too. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they've closed the Rose and Crown in my ancestral town.
Oh, yeah.
Where my great-grandfather moved to Woodstock, where I come from. And he lodged in the Rose and Crown, which is why we ended up in the Rose and Crown years ago when we were first over on honeymoon. So.
Was it?
Yeah, the Rose and Crown, it is a real pub name.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool. Excellent.
I do get asked about the Rose and Crown occasionally when I'm in there, when I'm in America. It's amazing, really, that in '94, when I first came over, the Rose and Crown didn't look like any pub in England at all. But it seems to have been a prediction by Disney that the pubs were going that way. And now we have this chain of pubs called Witherspoons, and you could walk into those and you'd feel right at home. They are so similar, it's uncanny.
All right. So we're going to talk about what it's like to travel over here, over to the U.S., over to Florida from England. And we're talk about how the UK or the Brits do Disney World. And I think it's a little bit different. I know my history, I can remember in August being down there one time and we got caught in a horrible rainstorm. And I was actually in the Canadian Pavilion, went into the store, had a fantastic chat with a lady, I think maybe her husband, and she was from England, and I just loved it. The lightning and thunder was going through, and we just had a great chat. But that particular week, I noticed there was a lot of people from England at Disney World that particular week in August, and I think that's where I first learned. You guys come over for a long period of time when you come over, like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, our schools get out the second week of July and go back the first week of September. So that's our summer vacation, as you would call it, 7 weeks there. We find that coming over from the UK, if we come over, say, the middle of August, the majority of American schools are returning around then. And we get that sort of sweet spot end of August, beginning of September. We've done 3 with the boys, 3 trips with the boys. And they've all been I think they've all been 3 weeks. I think one was 19 days. Nice. That's sort of the minimum.
Wow. Because
of the price of the flights and the travel, it's not really in, and we do get a lot more holiday time than you Americans do. So it's more beneficial if we're going to make that financial commitment. Yeah, we've probably spent similar sort of times in Orlando as if you have, but we've spent it in really big blocks.
That particular trip, I remember the dollar compared to the English pound.
Yeah,
there was a big difference, and you guys could come over here and spend like drunken sailors, and it was just to your advantage at that time, and that's one of the reasons you could stay longer.
Yeah, I mean, we came over Yeah, we come over in '94. We mooned there. I kept my trousers on, but we did moon in there.
Thanks for
Reminded
clarifying
me
that.
mooning. Yeah, we honeymooned there. Yeah, but we tend to, as a Brit, we'd probably come over for 2 weeks minimum, mostly 3. But we don't do just Disney. If we're coming over, I sent you my schedule for my last trip in 2012, and we do Discovery Cove, SeaWorld, we do Universal, we do Island Adventures. We might go out to Tampa Bay to over there.
Yeah.
We do Florida, not just
Sure.
Disney. Although if you speak to anybody, they will tell you, oh yeah, they're going to Disney in the UK. But 9 times out of 10, what they actually mean is they're going to Orlando, and they may do a week by the beach and then 2 weeks at the parks. But obviously they do the SeaWorlds and the other parks as well as Disney.
Sure, you take advantage of the.
Go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back and let's talk about your history with Disney World, and let's start from the beginning. What was your beginning with Disney World?
Well, we originally, my wife took me to, I think the first Disney film I saw was something like Lion King, believe it or not, in the cinema. And, we, not being a young couple that, were on a budget, we used to go to the cinema a lot, was far cheaper than going out, doing other things that young people get up to. So we used to use the cinema and go and watch a lot of the Disney films. And then when we decided to get married and we were looking for somewhere to honeymoon, Orlando was quite a good price. I mean, I think we came for 3 weeks for £1,600 for the two of us, which equates to just over the time would have been $2,000, if that.
Yeah.
And that was, our flights, our hotel, and our tickets. So it was really quite good value at the time. We stayed there back in '94 down on iDrive, off site. Didn't really even consider staying at Disney. Didn't even think that was really an option.
So you didn't really know too much. You didn't do a lot of research on it.
No, I think the thing with we picked Orlando or Disney as a vacation because my wife burns under a fluorescent light, so she doesn't like to go and lie on a beach. So when we were looking for something to do with the honeymoon, obviously with all the activities that you've got in Orlando and Disney and the Region area, we decided that that would be better for us. It's active. There's something there for everybody. And we came over and we had 3 fantastic weeks, met up with a lot of American people that had we met up with them more recently, we'd probably still be in touch because there was no Facebook and no cell phones really back in '94 in the dark ages. But we came over and stayed on National Drive. Now, it's a worrying thing because we stayed in the Best Western on International Drive, which has now been knocked down. Okay, then
so it wouldn't make any difference if you gave me a tour around there.
And then in 2007 we came over and that hotel has been knocked down. And
so there's like a pattern.
Destruction, man.
So there's like a pattern there.
There's a pattern. So it doesn't look good for the Rosen Plaza that we stayed in 2009, does it? Or Port Orleans in 2012.
Yeah, Kevin, I was going to say, don't stay at Bay Lake Tower if you don't mind.
Well, yeah.
The Rosen is still open also, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember when we discussed the other night, but yeah, we stayed at the Rosen Plaza in 2009. We came over, we did the honeymoon trip, and that was it. I mean, the first time I walked in Magic Kingdom, to me, that was it. I was sold, and I've never looked back. I mean, I still now am planning the next trip when we can, get the family sorted out. I've got a 17-year-old son, so it makes it more difficult. But I really don't think of anywhere else as a destination. It's it just sold me completely. And I went to the extreme of having a Mickey Mouse tattoo. So just after we came back in '94.
Hey, I want you to tell me the story of the ale training.
Oh, yeah.
Yard of Ale.
The Yard of Ale story, right, yeah. Well, it's quite funny. As I said to Curtis, American airmen have played a big part in my growing up. We had an air base close to where I lived in Woodstock in Oxfordshire, and we teased American airmen who were asking for directions at different times. So we get to Orlando, and we're in Epcot, and we're just walking around. We don't even know what all these places are around the
World Showcase, right?
World Showcase. That's it escaped me. Yeah, World Showcase. And my wife says to me, Deborah says, "Look over there, kid. It's your granddad's pub." I said, "What do you mean?" And I see all this Rose and Crown. She says, "I've got to go in for a drink," which is not like my wife at all. So we go in and we order 2 drinks, and there's 2 American chaps stood at the bar with these yard of ales. Now, I've never touched a yard of ale in my life, and we don't touch yards of ale in the UK. They may be on display in some very old pubs, but they're not ever used.
Ah.
And they had them on wooden stands, and they were using the wooden stand as a handle.
Right. So
as soon as they lifted it up, the ale was going in their face. The beer was splashing over their faces. And I laughed. And they're 2 strapping lads, you know. And,
so they didn't pull the yard of ale outside of the wooden block. They just drank it like that?
No, there's a handle.
Oh, yeah, they're using it as a
just
handle.
lifted it to their face. So, of course, a yard of ale is a tall, and it's a yard long. That's what it's called, a yard of ale. And there's a ball at the bottom. But it's a glass tube, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the bottom, there's the ale sits in a round, like, test tube ball at the bottom. And so they were trying to drink it and were spilling it. And I laughed at them. And then I turned away. And then the next thing I know, they saunter up to us and say, "Are you from the UK?" Said, "Oh, you're from the UK." And I said, "Well, from England." I can't really remember what I said. And I said, yeah. And they said, "Oh, what's it with these yards of ale?" And I said, "Well, you need to spin it." And they looked at me like I was from Mars. And I said, "No, you need to hold it in one hand and spin it." And then the other chap who I wasn't speaking to just ordered one. And I thought, I didn't think any comment, and then he gave it me. So I'm stood in the Rose and Crown with my left hand on the neck of this yard of ale and my right hand on the ball of the yard of ale. And I'm trying to spin it and slowly drink it. I'm drinking, it's taking ages. Just at the corner of my eye, I realised that all of a sudden there's everybody in the bar is round me as I'm drinking this yard of ale. And it was like when you're at school and you're in a scuffle. I drank the majority of it, and there was cheering and clapping, and I was, about as
showing
ready
off
as you could get. But then we started talking to these 2 chaps, and they were American airmen that were on leave. I don't know if they were staying at the military place you've got there, but they were so friendly and really pleased just to speak to somebody from England. They thought it was fantastic.
Well, you sound to me like the type of guy who has a conversation with just about anybody, and it's like an old friend right away.
Yeah. Well, I find that in America, certainly in Disney, people are far more approachable than they would be. You wouldn't do that in England.
Yeah. Everyone's on vacation.
Well, my grandfather had his own chair, and you daren't sit in it in the pub. They would actually tell you to get out of it. That's Dickie's chair. You can't sit in that chair. That's Richard Allen's chair, So it's not friendly like it is when we come over. So that's what we find so appealing.
Well, I live near New York City, and we're not usually in the northeast of the U.S. Not the most hospitality people known for that.
Hospitable. Well, on the same trip, we bought one of these. I don't know whether you had them in America. They were called view cams. They had a screen a little bit about the size of an iPhone, and then they had instead of having the viewfinder built in, it actually moved on a handle, and you just had a screen, so you had no viewfinder, nothing to put up to your eye, and you held it sort of I suppose at your waist. And my wife I could sleep anywhere at the time, and we were in Hollywood Studios, or MGM as it was, waiting for the 3:00 parade. It was about 1:30, and I just lay down on the floor and fell asleep because we might have been the day after that yard of ale, but I fell asleep on the sofa, and I woke up, and my wife was talking to this American couple, an elderly American couple, and he was talking to my wife about pubs in Oxford, and he was he served at the American Air Base outside Woodstock when he was a young man.
Small world,
so
right?
It always seems to come back to American Airmen. And they were a lovely couple, and just to see my wife with this this view cam, this camcorder, and just struck up a conversation. And that's not the easiest thing to do with my wife. She's not outgoing. So, but yeah, that seems to be the way of things in America. Certainly in Disney, I think people's guards, people feel a lot safer.
Absolutely. I love that. Hey, so tell me, I want to give Tony a chance. Tony, do you have any thing you want to add for questions?
No, I was looking at the email that he had sent you, and basically the questions I had for him about the airman, he already answered. So, beyond, I was wondering about the Art of L training also. That's pretty funny. They can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing with those. That's for sure.
They used to give those out as souvenirs when you bought a drink outside. I know I have one somewhere here in the house. The plastic one they give you, you spend $15 and you get the beer in the yard of ale. The half yard is actually what that is. Well, tell us a little about your family, because I know you went in 2007. You mentioned with your sons. What's the makeup of your family?
Yeah, right. Well, after '94, we better get back down to, I suppose, the serious business of being married and get a family house, because we were in a very small house. And so anyway, we sort of muddled on, and the first child came along. It was Jared, and he's 17 now. In 96. And then we had a long break, a sabbatical of 4 years, and then we had Troy in 2002. And in 2007, 2004, we moved from Oxford down to the Isle of Wight, which is a small rock off the south coast of the UK.
I know you sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, it is small, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you can from the aerial view, it looks. Yeah. You can see it's kind of small.
Yeah, you'd fit that 4 times in Walt Disney World property.
So your whole island would fit 4 times in Disney World.
Yeah, in the Disney World property.
That's cool.
42 feet square, 42 feet.
Yeah.
42 feet, miles, isn't it? So it would fit 4 times comfortably in there. But yeah, so we moved down, and it's a holiday island. So the property prices were a lot cheaper. So
yeah,
as soon as we moved down, I said to my wife, right, when the boys are a little bit older, we're going to Disney.
Yeah. So your youngest was what, like 5 years old?
He was 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we'd bring them over in 2007. Just lost my father in the January, and things were, we needed something to look forward to. So I said, right, that's it. We're going to take our first vacation to Disney. So we booked up with Richard Branston and the Virgin. We did a whole package deal, like is the norm in the UK. So we went into an actual shop and bought a holiday out of a brochure.
Oh, okay. So you get a little package. Yeah.
Old
right.
School.
Yeah, the way the travel agents used to be.
Yeah, but see, the UK travel agents, most of them haven't been anywhere. So they don't have the knowledge. A lot of the podcasts are run by travel agents, and they have such fantastic knowledge about Disney. Whereas ours really they'd start looking through the magazine. I think to myself, well, I could do that. So in 2007, we booked a 3-week holiday to Orlando, again to staying just off International Drive. We arrived at the hotel after we had a delay. I drove from the island, which incurs getting on a ferry, and then a 2.5 hour drive to the airport, parked the car, and so we left home at I think 2 a.m. and arrived in Orlando at the hotel 26 hours later.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. Well, how long
it's
are you?
It's a 9-hour flight
Oh.
9-hour flight. We have to be at the airport 4 hours before the flight. So we don't do that anymore.
9-hour flight.
A 9-hour flight, yeah.
Wow.
If you fly direct.
Yeah.
You can fly indirect. Some people fly into New York or
right.
somewhere along there and then fly back down. But I mean, 9 hours is long enough.
That is. I've never done that.
So, yeah, it's a long flight. We're a 5-year-old son. My eldest was pretty good. There were no iPads in those days in 2007. They hadn't come along. It was just colouring books and magazines.
Where did you stay? What was the name? Do you remember?
We stayed just off International Drive at a hotel called the Wyndham, which again has been knocked down. But let me tell you, it really did need knocking down.
Oh, okay.
It was very old and run down. there was somebody outside painting our window when we arrived. So it didn't bode well, but it was a nice big room. It's the biggest room I think we've stayed in America. It did us just fine. So we commuted from there. They had a shuttle to all the attractions, to Disney and to Universal and SeaWorld. And my son's very into wildlife and stuff at the time. He still is now. And so obviously SeaWorld was just something else for him, you know. And on that trip, we did an experience in SeaWorld where you eat in the restaurant, and the boys went off to do a tour around the back of the tanks and see the sharks, and they saw all the way that SeaWorld worked behind the scenes. And to be honest with you, I'd have rather done that than gone for the meal on my own with the wife. But it would have been very interesting. That my sons loved all that sort of stuff. So we did that. Then obviously we did, I don't know, 6 or 7 days in Disney. After that one, when we came back, my wife said, if we do it again, it's got to be a nicer hotel. So in 2009, I booked I had a choice of the Rosen Plaza or Pop Century.
Yep.
Pop Century and the Rosen Plaza were like exactly the same price.
What's the Rosen Plaza? I don't know what that one is.
It's, do you know the Rosen Central down by the big conference centre on the bottom of International Drive?
I really don't know the outside too well at all.
No,
they
don't know.
I stay inside all the time.
Yeah. Well, they are big. They're rated on here as 4-star hotels. So they're pretty nice hotels. So I plumped for that one because I wasn't sure about Pop Century, and I was at the time I wasn't really in the know. So we went to the Rosen Plaza and did a similar sort of deal. Again, flying Virgin from the UK. But we got a little bit wise now. What we do now is I have a friend who lives right close to the port here on the Isle of Wight. I drive my car to his house. Well, I did then. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But I drove to his house, leave my car there. I catch the hovercraft over.
You're not kidding. There's a hovercraft.
It's a hovercraft. Yeah. We're the only island, I think, using a commercial hovercraft left in the world now.
It's like James Bond.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a big hovercraft. It takes, I don't know,
cars on it.
People.
Do the cars go on it too? That big?
No, it's not as big as the ones that he used to go across to France on. It's because this is a prop engined standard diesel engine ones where they were turbines, and they got too expensive to run across to France.
So when
obviously a tunnel came along.
You wrote to me 23 hours on planes, trains, automobiles, and hovercraft. You're not kidding.
No. We would go to my friend's house, and then we would take an underground train. It's like a subway train.
Yeah,
above ground, along a pier. So the train goes along the pier to the end of the pier. You get on the hovercraft and you go over to the mainland.
Now I know how spoiled I am. I only got like a 2.5 hour flight, not even 2 hours, 15 minutes.
But here's the thing: when you're not in the know, I can travel from the other side of Southampton or Portsmouth up to London to get London Gatwick Airport, pay and stay in Hilton Hotel overnight, and that is cheaper than my 3 weeks parking would be. And that's getting a driver and a car, and that driver picks you up when you got off the hovercraft and drops you off right at the door of the Hilton Hotel. The Hilton Hotel, you go in one door and out the back, and you're in the terminal right by Virgin's check-in desk. So we go up the night before now, we check in, we don't have to park a car, so I haven't got to worry about being up 24 hours on the way back and driving back.
Right.
So, and it's cheaper.
So
you would never think that.
At this point, you haven't stayed at a Disney resort yet.
No. That year we again came for 3 weeks, and we did Kennedy Space Center. Yeah. That time it was one of the things we picked up. We didn't do in the trip before, which is that again for a UK resident to come over and go around and look at Kennedy Space Center. That's just out of this world.
Yeah, the kids like that too.
Coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. We did, we were very lucky because they were still doing the shuttles then. And there was a shuttle launch due on the date we had booked. Yeah. And they cancelled us. and they upgraded us to so we had a dinner with a astronaut.
Oh.
So there's about 100 of you in there. You have a meal. You get to ask the astronaut a question, have your photograph taken with him. And we got all that thrown in because they cancelled our original date. But yeah, my son just absolutely loved it. Thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I got a little bit bored and nearly got eaten by an alligator. But they take you down to the beach to show you where they look out. And I started wandering along the beach, and the guide said, "Sir, don't go down there," and pointed. I said, "What's that?" Yeah. Looked like a piece of wood. He said, "That's probably a gator out there." So I decided to join back with a group after that.
Good idea.
Yeah. We don't want you to get eaten by a gator visiting Florida. I saw the space shuttle. I was in Epcot, and it flew over. We were looking for it.
You will, because Florida is so flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, this is
it's close, too.
It's not far, is it?
No. So we did see that. That's cool. All right. What else?
We also did on that trip 1900 Park Fair with the breakfast with Winnie the Pooh characters and I suppose you call it the English breakfast, wouldn't you? Sure, it's 1900 Park Fair. I hired a Hummer limousine and picked us up from the hotel and took us out to it's the Grand Floridian, isn't it?
That's right, for 1800 Park Fair.
1900 Park Fair. We had that was our character breakfast for the for that trip, and that was my real introduction into the character breakfasts and things like that we hadn't done. We had done Chef Mickey's when we were on honeymoon, but we literally just walked in there, and they asked us if we wanted a reservation. But that was back in '94. You're not doing that now, are you?
No.
So that was our, like I say, we do Magic Kingdom 2 or 3 times. We do every one of the other ones, including the water parks, at least once on a trip, because the tickets are a lot different. So when we came in 2012, we did a little bit of a different deal. We managed to get in on free dining. So when I looked at going back to Rosen Plaza against staying a Pop Century or a Disney hotel, if the food's included, obviously it makes it a much more attractive deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
But
you stayed at Port Orleans that time, I think.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing. You see, they weren't offering a meal deal at Pop Century, and it was about $600 or $800 cheaper than staying at Port Orleans Riverside. And over 3 weeks, $800 isn't going to really feed you for a family of 4. So I said to my wife, I think we ought to go for the moderate. After I was listening to different podcasts and doing a bit more research by now, and I was more up on what we were doing. So she said, well, if you reckon we can afford it. And I said, well, we're not going to need to take anything like the spending money we would normally take. So we'd normally eat at Sizzlers or something like that on International Drive in the evening. So, and then you'd have all the evening to waste, and you weren't going back for the fireworks every night and things like that. So I said, well, we'll try it. We'll do Port Orleans. And
did you stay 3 weeks at Port Orleans?
Port Orleans, we stayed for 3 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So we did the same trick. We stayed at the Hilton in Gatwick. We flew out. Funnily enough, we had a meal in the Gatwick at a Witherspoons, which is very like the Rose and Crown. We flew out and came to Port Orleans, but we had I was just looking at my notes here. We had a delay on the way out, so we were even longer this time. I think that they were delayed by 3 hours. So we're 3 hours late by the time we get to Orlando International. So we fly into Orlando International. Now when I booked the holiday here, I knew that we could get the Magical Express. They were saying, oh, there's transfers available. And I looked at that against hiring a car. the problem with hiring a car from the UK is that you pick it up at the airport and drive it to your resort. But if you've done a 24-hour day and you drive, and you will insist upon driving on the wrong side of the road, so I'm putting the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car.
Well, that area of the United States has the most accidents. I don't know if it's in the world or I know it's in the U.S. It's the most. People coming from other.
That's all this tired English coming over.
Driving on the wrong side of the road.
So and I think I said to you, it would cost me about $900 to insure it for 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'd want all the insurance, to make sure that if anything did go wrong. So, I said, well, no, we would just save that money. And, that bought, that is quite a wad of spending money we can have over and above what we've got now. So we didn't bother booking a car. I brought my driving license and said, well, we can always book one for a couple of days if we want. And as I was doing some research for this particular holiday, I got in touch with another podcast and asked them for some advice about, because we get Port Orleans, Riverside, we only got the quick service dining plan. And I was looking at the deals at the moment. Now, if you stay at Pop Century now, you can get breakfast included from the UK, but not. So you would get quick service on free dining in the US, wouldn't you? And then if you stay at a moderate, you'll get the standard dining package.
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
And Tony, you do travel agency stuff, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, and so Kevin, if you ever have any more questions, shoot me over. I got lots of contacts in the travel agency.
I could book for.
I didn't realize that there were different dining plans for people that bought from England.
I've never seen this breakfast one before.
No, I haven't.
First year I've seen it.
They change them around too. All these plans, I'm sure. So
yeah. Well, see, bed and breakfast is quite a normal thing for British hotels to do. So perhaps they're trying to encourage the British by doing that, which is what we would fairly normally do. When we came, it was just you had to go up into a moderate. So we were on quick service, and I looked at it, and to upgrade to the next one with a table service was so much money. It was something like $2,000 over the 3 weeks.
Sure.
You can do a few table services in there, can't you? Without upgraded.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you have some favorites, Kevin? We're big foodies.
Well, what we did was the people I got in touch with recommended doing Garden Grocer. So I went on before we came up and did an order for Garden Grocer.
Oh,
now my sons love Lucky Charms, which you can't buy readily in the UK. So I ordered some boxes of cereals and some milk, and we had some water like you had sent down on one of your visits, didn't you? So we ordered in cans of drink and stuff like that.
That worked out for you?
That turned up.
I don't know if people know who Garden Grocer is, but that's a service you can call and they'll bring you groceries to your room.
And it works like a dream. I mean, I was obviously on a UK mobile phone, and they still rung me when I'm on my mobile phone. So they were paying something for that call, because that was being it was costing me, I think, about £1 something a minute to phone my wife on her mobile phone.
To tell you the order was ready?
Yeah. They phoned me and told me it was all there, and we went to Bell Services, and Bell Services they made my son's day, because they said, look, you don't want to carry this, we'll put it in one of these golf trolleys. And the chap that was doing it winked at my youngest son, Troy, said, come on, jump in the front. And he drove us round to our hotel room, which my son thought was fantastic. It's the best ride on a holiday, I think.
My wife always ships cases of water down, and
it makes sense, doesn't it? What we would do, we would have breakfast in the room. We would then be out for rope drop, no problem, and then we'd do your trick of an 11 o'clock lunch and a 4 o'clock dinner.
My trick, that's right.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, we always go early. It saves. It's easier.
And you can always get in, and it's always fresher and nicer,
Yeah, it seems to work for us. I was listening to a podcast today, and there was a question about crowds and how crowded it is, and I was thinking in my head, they were trying to pick between 2 different weeks in November, and I'm thinking to myself, listen, there is no downtime anymore. So the best thing about crowds is use the strategies to beat the crowds, like go early in the morning, do the early restaurants, use the extra magic hours and the fast pass. And the crowd just can't be avoided. I mean, there's times when it's absolutely insane, like at Christmas time and spring break, but.
Yeah, well, we luck out with, I think those 2 weeks at the end of August are a little bit quieter. When we arrived in Port Orleans, it definitely wasn't full.
Well, what'd you think of Disney World in August? I mean,
the heat's the only. That's not the heat. I don't mind the heat. It's the 100% humidity.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It does havoc with my hair.
I've done it too, but I mean, if you got kids, even for us, I mean, if you got kids, it's hard to avoid a summer trip if you want to go. I mean,
no, it's the only opportunity I get. As I've said, with the work I'm in, I work all through Christmas. I don't have any time off at Easter, but then I have 7 weeks paid holiday a year.
I think it's manageable, though. I can. Actually, I was wondering, do you think you're commando when you hit these parks, or are you kind of relaxing?
We run out of, my wife and my eldest son ran out of steam quite early on, and this is where Port Orleans was so much better for us this time. Going back, we arrived at Port Orleans and we checked in with a very nice cast member, and she was chatting to me, and I said, look, I put a request in for a room out in the Gator Bayou. I said, but I got the email got bounced back to me because I'm going for a travel agent. She said, well, I can do that for you. She said, but you've got a really nice room now been allocated to you in the mansions. And I said, no, I really would like to be out in the allocated Bayou. And she said, well, if you're sure, but I really, you're really got a really good location. And I said, no, I prefer to be out there because you get that little drop down bed, and I knew my youngest son would enjoy using that, and it would mean that we'd have less arguments with the two boys 4 years apart, and having to share a bed wasn't really what they wanted. So we did that, and she kept on. She was like, oh, look, you've really got a very good room. It's close. I can only give you one long way away from the facilities. And I said, I don't mind. We went, and sure enough, it was in Block 36, right by the bus stop on the other side of the resort. But because we're having breakfast in the room, then going straight down to the bus stop, it was ideal.
Yeah. Because
you go to the bus stop and you're away. Whereas you would have had to walk all through and gone to the front of the hotel and caught the bus from there if we'd have stayed in the mansion.
It's a big resort.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, I want to give you a chance. I've been taking over all the conversation. Anything you want to add in there?
Well, I was just going to ask him, looking at his notes here, and he came in with his sons in 2007 and then did the free dining at Port Orleans in 2012, between the honeymoon in 94. Any other trips you've made down to Disney World in that time?
No, and I'm planning probably my first trip to Paris.
Okay.
I've been to Paris I've run a half marathon in Paris before, but the Disneyland Paris are planning a half marathon next September. So it's been the thing that pushes us, because we did Disney World before. I think Disneyland Paris, I've got quite a few friends that have been, and I think the Disneyland is a fantastic park, but the other one needed some work, and I think they have done a lot of work over there. So if there's a half marathon, I fancy doing a run Disney. I don't think I'm going to get over to the States in the next couple of years, so perhaps a weekend away at Disneyland Paris to do a half marathon next year.
How far is that for you? I'm sorry. How far is that for you?
Drive wise, I'd probably do the train. Go up to London, catch a train straight to Disneyland Paris through the tunnel. So that would be 2.5 hours from London, I think it is.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah.
And it stops right outside. It literally drops you off right outside Disneyland Paris if you take the Eurostar.
And you're a runner. We were talking before.
Well, yeah, I'm not much of a runner now. I used to be years ago. I'm afraid I'm a bit on the portly side for that now.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I'm trying to get back into it. You know, it's hard going, but I've come down. I was 265. Well, in American, I was 265, and I'm down to 20. Got on the scales. I think it translates into 209 pounds now. So I've lost quite a bit.
Good for you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Your running will do it to you as well.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of cycling as well.
Okay.
When I'm not. Yeah. So because I work over here, I don't drive a car very much. I either cycle, walk, or run. So the lifestyle over here is a little bit different to the mainland. It's not quite so spread out. So I can walk 4 minutes to the nearest cinema and stuff. So, but anyway, I think Port Orleans was, to us, it was just fantastic. I know we were there about a week, and I noticed that on the receipts you get what credits you've got left for your food plan. I had a child on there. Now, Disney consider 9-year-old to be an adult, don't they?
I think 9-year-old is actually the last year of a child. 10 is when they become an adult at Disney, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. I was paying for my son as an adult, so I went back to the desk and spoke to the same lady as I did on check-in. I said, "Oh look, I think there's been a mistake here. I think I'm getting child credit, and he should be getting an adult." She said, "Oh, I'm really sorry." I said, "Well, that's all right." She said, "Well, you need to speak to your travel agent." I thought, "Oh God." So I spoke to my travel agent. They rebooked it. I went back to her. She says, "Oh, don't worry, you've got plenty of credits now." And I thought, fine. They only reset it from 0. So I had 21 days meals again and 14 days. 21 days snack credits. And we are getting 2 snack credits a day each.
A lot of eating.
So we go through the holiday. I mean, we went to Discovery Cove as well on this holiday. So that's a day where you're out of Disney and you're not eating in Disney. Discovery Cove, everything's included. Your food, even alcohol. I think you can even have a margarita if you want.
That's correct.
So at the time I wasn't drinking at all, so that didn't worry me too much. But so that's a day less we weren't doing. So we ended up all these credits. What we would normally do is we would get up to go and do one of the Disney parks, perhaps at Rope Drop, and then by say 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, we go back to the hotel room and I'll have a freshen up, and I'll say to him, "Quite, who's coming to the fireworks tonight?" And nobody would move. So on occasions, I went back out on my own. But when my son discovered that the card game in Magic Kingdom, that
Sorcerer's of the Kingdom.
Once he discovered that, he was up and out with me every night. So we went and did that a few nights. And one night I said to him, "Come on, let's go and have an ice cream." So we went to the ice cream parlour just in front of the castle, opposite the hot dog place, Casey's Corner.
Casey's, yes.
Yeah. So I was in there. We were talking to some people behind us and just trying to decide what to have. And I said to the chap, handed in my card, said, "How many credits have I got?" And he said, "You've got 100 and something snack credits." And I turned around and I said, "Right, put the next 10 ice creams off my snack credits. So the next 10 people
Nice.
had snack credits off me." So I went and sat outside with my ice cream and didn't think nothing of it. I think these people coming out and patting me on the shoulder and thanking me. So they
Made
were just
somebody's
Little
day.
Disney magic.
Yeah.
they were just going, we're going to go to waste. We were never going to use them. We left Disney, I think we had 15 meals and 5 snack credits left, even after bringing back a sack of sweets to the UK, some of which never got eaten. I think are still upstairs in one of the closets.
Along with the soaps and the shampoos.
Yeah. My wife used to, my wife used to tell me off something terrible. They used in my trailer. I have, caravan as we would call it.
Yeah.
I have, when we go away in the summer in the trailer, we have Mickey soap just to give ourselves a little bit of Disney, because they're ideal little soaps, aren't they, to take away on holiday with you. But yes, I'm afraid we're guilty of that.
I even brought the coffee cups home the paper ones and the creamer and stirrers. I usually bring my own coffee and grind. I do the grinding of my own coffee, but
you know those the drinks mugs, because we obviously get drinks mugs.
yeah.
She even did us another set of drinks mugs.
Oh, wow.
So
You got doubled up.
yeah, everything got doubled up. So I found a family, and I said, "Are you on the dining plan?" And they said, "No." I said, "Right." I picked up 4 of the drinks, we went through, scanned them. So there you go. You can have those. They said, "What are they?" I said, "Well, you can just keep on refilling those." And they just didn't believe me, you know.
Well, I wonder if they were staying at a resort, though.
No, they were staying at Port Orleans.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, they were staying there, but they weren't on the dining plan.
Oh, they must have. That would be awesome. That's a real nice perk.
I did the same with our last day. What we do in the UK, we're saying we do things differently. What we do is I pack 3 suitcases, but I pack an empty suitcase inside a suitcase.
Right.
Now, my wife is a little bit like Lindsay.
The shopper?
She likes to shop. Boy, oh boy, does she like to shop.
You're going to hear that on a show that's coming out on Monday. There's some shopping stories.
I think she'd give Lindsay a run for her money. She came back with Dooney Burke handbags.
Oh, yeah, the girls love that.
Yeah, the Dooney Burke handbags. I came back with 6 pairs of trainers or sneakers. Sneakers is a chocolate bar in the UK.
Where are you buying your sneakers? I mean, they found some good shops down there in Florida.
Well, we have a trip out. I was just telling that we got wet about the second day here, and we went shoe shopping. I've got it down here, shoe shopping. So we went to downtown Disney, and we took the Lynx Bus 50, which took us to SeaWorld, and then you got on the iTrolley, which is $1. And you can go up and down International Drive. So we go up to the Premier Outlet right up by Universal. I know there's a lot of sports shops in there, and my son likes his Adidas trainers and stuff like that. But we go around there, and up there's a Fossil shop. My wife likes the Fossil and the Kipling handbags and the Dooney Burke. So we went around and we do a proper day's shopping.
Oh, wow.
But I know from previous visits that there's a Reebok shop in the car park of the Premier Outlet. If you walk across there, they hand out 20% off, 30% off. I think it was 40% by the looks of it on my notes here. Mm-hmm. So I went in, I bought Reebok trainers, buy one, get one half price, and you still got 40% off. So I bought 6 pairs of trainers. Or 6 pairs of sneakers, as you would say.
So you needed that extra bag.
Yeah, so that extra bag was pretty much full of trainers and T-shirts. And the other thing my boys love is Lego.
Oh, yeah, the boys. Yeah, that's really popular. The woman that I have a friend coming down to Disney World soon, and her first thing she's going to do when she gets off the plane is take her son to Legoland. They're going to do that very first thing.
So we have a Legoland in Windsor,
in
the UK, and we did the AP trick. We bought a annual pass for Legoland, because over here when you book a ticket for that, you book it for a Pacific day. So we wanted to go twice. We'd have to book it for 2 Pacific days, and if you buy an annual pass, obviously you can go whenever you want, and it was only $30 or $40 dearer.
Yep.
So we did that, and we went last 2 weeks of August, and then went a week earlier the next year and used it twice, because it's a 12 months ticket, the same as your annual pass would be for Disney.
The corporate headquarters of Lego is in Connecticut, where I live, and they have a big Mark Twain house of Legos at the airport. I just saw it recently.
Yeah, I mean the Legoland in Windsor, it's not it's a lovely little theme park, but it's built on the side of a mountain very nearly. It really well there's a tram ride like in the Swiss Alps down the side of it. It's so steep, so it's not it wasn't well designed like the Magic Kingdom is, to give you that nice easy walk on the way out. Have you noticed that it's uphill on the way in and downhill on the way out? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Only a very gradual, but
yeah, that's right. Well,
it's all designed that way.
Yes, it is.
They dredged that lake, that man-made lake, and they made it the way they wanted it.
Yeah, I think like I say, it's all done with thought. Whereas they Universal are in a position in Orlando where they've got to do what they can with the space they've got. You know, and that's. I mean, that is the big draw for the UK as well, is because they've got Harry Potter there, and my two boys and my wife are big Harry Potter fans. So we have to go to Universal to see Harry Potter. So we've only done the first side of Harry Potter. We haven't been since they've opened the second phase. So they're itching to get back, but they're going to have to be a bit patient. But yeah,
Kevin, I was going to ask you. I know you're obviously a Disney geek, but when you come down to Orlando, you're down there for 2-3 weeks. What are your favorite things to do outside of Disney? Obviously.
Well, SeaWorld's one of the top ones to do. I know it's got some very bad press recently, unfortunately. But the other one you don't hear much of, is Gatorland.
Okay.
What's so great about Gatorland? You almost got eaten by a gator over at Kennedy Space Center.
Well, Gatorland... You're
not holding a grudge?
Yeah. Gatorland hasn't changed since 94. Although it burnt down and they rebuilt it, it's still exactly the same. They're still saying the same jokes and doing the same shows. But my boys absolutely love it. We keep reptiles anyway. Here I've got a tortoise and we used to keep lizards. So they... It was high on their priority to go to Gatorland.
How big's your tortoise?
It's an Indian star tortoise. It's quite small. It's not, it's not a Galapagos tortoise.
I'm thinking of like those big ones, that you see.
Yeah. No, my son would like one.
About 400 pounds or something.
Yeah, he's a very small tortoise.
Okay.
But I think Gatorland's a once and done.
Does he do tricks?
Yeah, they get them jumping for chickens. They wrestle them. You can sit on one. You can hold one. You can hold a big snake. They've got a Galapagos, at least one Galapagos tortoise there. I think a really big one. And it's a nice little half day. That's something that's a bit different from Disney. That and the Aquatica, if you like water parks, the Aquatica that is SeaWorld's water park is really, really good. We did that on our trip in 2009. Because, you see, the tickets we buy in the UK, so the ticket I buy with my stay to go to Disney is it's basically a 21-day ticket. Right. And it includes all the water parks, the water park fun and more option, and the hopper. So we can go to and from whatever theme park we want, flexible, and we can go to the water parks, the golf, the pitch and putt golf, and the crazy golf that Disney have. So we get all of that in our package. And I was just looking at the price of that comes in at around $500. So it's not much shy of an annual pass.
Well, you have yourself a pretty good time and get a lot done in 3 weeks. That's awesome, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, we did this last time. We did 4 days in Magic Kingdom on our wedding anniversary. Tropical Storm Sheila, I think it was, or something like that came through, and we had a reservation in downtown Disney at the Rainforest Cafe. We don't have anything. Well, we do have a Rainforest Cafe in London, which I've never been to. My boys loved it, and we thought, well, we'd take them there on our wedding anniversary, and it was lashing it down with rain, so bad we didn't go out. So I phoned up to the front desk and said, could you cancel my reservation at the Rainforest Cafe? And they said, why aren't you going? And I said, well, the weather's bad. Oh, don't worry, it's your anniversary. And they stuck us in a car and drove us round there.
Oh, nice.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, pulled right up to the back of our hotel room, basically, in a big 4-wheel drive with a cast member, and they took us to downtown Disney, and we made our own way back because it had stopped. It was a rough old stormy day, and it was almost a write-off, and I thought, we're not going to get out for our meal neither for our wedding anniversary. But no, Disney tend to step up to the mark there. I did, just looking, on the 31st, we did Tusker House for breakfast at Animal Kingdom. Any of you done that one?
Yeah, I've been there before. It's nice.
Yeah. Have you done the breakfast with Donald?
Yes, we did the breakfast with the Donald.
I'd like to do that. I was only over there during the Harambe nights. They had it open, but I never did the dinner or breakfast, but I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. My wife wasn't keen, but my wife and my two boys are quite fussy eaters. But I'll eat almost anything, and that's how I got up to 265 pounds, I suppose. But
me too.
But we did that, and I'm just sat here looking at some of the photographs because we done also in the UK. I booked the PhotoPass package as it was then. There was PhotoPass, and then when I got to Animal Kingdom, someone would give me a tip: go to Animal Kingdom and upgrade your PhotoPass at the PhotoPass office there. So I did that, and I got the PhotoPass Plus, which included the ride photos. Now that's changed. What's it called now?
Memory Maker.
Yeah, Memory Maker.
Memory Maker now.
Right on your Magic Band.
But we were cards. We didn't have Magic Bands. Back in the old days when we had the ticket fast passes.
Back in the olden days.
Yeah.
The old days.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we haven't had the joy of that yet, because I don't quite know how that's going to work here in the UK.
Well, Kevin, I think I'm getting close here to our time, and man, we've been chatting right along here. I had the recorder going early, so I've got some good bloopers. You know, you guys want to listen to bloopers. Usually when my music ends at the end, don't hang up don't turn the sound off, because there's going to be some more bloopers there. But thanks so much for joining us for
fine.
A good hour here. And yeah, thank you. And Tony, thank you for coming on the show with us tonight.
Heard anytime.
Yeah. Now you guys are officially super geekers. Well, Tony already was. Now you are, Kevin, too. I'll invite you into the private Facebook group. You're an official member now.
Thank you. I feel honored.
You can share with us what's going on in our Disney World. And Tony, you do some travel agency. You want to promote that? Let us know what you're doing.
Yes, I am a independent travel agent with Fairy Tale Journeys. We are an authorized Disney vacation planner. And fairytalejourneys.com is our website. I'm Tony McDaniel. I'm on Twitter at FTJTony, and my Facebook page is also FTJTony. You can find me on there.
Excellent. And Kevin, it's been so much fun. Oh, you know what I want to tell you, Kevin? Let me tell you just one thing, then I'll let you give it. We've had a little race here. I watched my stats of downloads, and the United Kingdom was getting beat by Norway for the third spot of my downloads from countries. But now you're back. You're back. You must be promoting the show.
Well, I was just going to try and do that a little bit for you, actually. Yeah. Could I give a shout out to a couple of British podcasts?
Yeah, absolutely.
If any of your American listeners have enjoyed listening to my British accent, which is not particularly good, but there are some worthy podcasts to listen to. Disney Dream Girls, I think, is a really nice podcast to listen to. There's some lovely couple of Yorkshire lasses on there. That's Jane and Michelle. And the other one that comes with a warning is Diz After Dark.
Okay.
Now,
Diz
After Dark. Have you heard them?
I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them. I've heard of them.
They're certainly worth a listen. They a little bit more adult occasionally. They do put an E on it if there's any swearing in there. But you've got the full gamut of British accents on there. You've got a Liverpudlian, you've got a Scottish Paul, and you've got I suppose he's not really a Cockney, but a London boy. So you've got a full range of accents on there for that, and they're both very good podcasts. Perhaps we can hook you up with those, Curtis.
Yes, I love collaborating with them, and I've listened to the girls. What's that podcast?
Disney Dream Girls.
Yeah, Disney Dream Girls.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, they got great humor. I love the British humor, and you've got a sense of humor. That was fun tonight, and I know they do too. So I love that.
Well, Diz After Dark is set in a fictitious pub called the Mouse's Head. So, and they start off their tagline as "What are you drinking?" and you have to have a beer or a drink that has a a connection to Disney. And I've got a beer here that's an Isle of Wight brewed beer, and it's called the Yachtsman.
Oh yeah, you sent me that onto my Facebook page. I did see that.
Did you see that?
Yes, I did just see that before I got on with you.
Well, I haven't opened it yet, but I might do later.
There you go. Well, all right, guys.
Water 420s in the fridge, but they sell at Disney. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I discovered Yingling. Well, actually, probably New Jersey, but they have it down there in Disney World. That's just what I finished mine while we were talking. All right, guys, it's been great. And, you guys can be on the show, too. If you're listening and you want to send me an email, kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com. I think that's what Kevin did. He says he got me on Facebook. But you can get me there on Facebook, and you can get me on the Twitter @geekinonwdw. And we'll be back with Lindsay. She's still hanging on us. We record Monday or Tuesday night usually. And this might be a bonus night. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this. I usually release on Mondays. Sometimes I throw a Thursday in there. But we love chatting with you guys, and keep contacting me. Send me emails if you got feedback or questions. And we love to keep in contact with you guys. You can retweet us and share our Twitter, Facebook posts. We really appreciate that. And I know Kevin did a 5-star iTunes review for me, but it shows up on the British iTunes. I had to kind of dig to go find that. I had to switch my location in order to find it, Kevin. But it was an excellent iTunes review, and I really appreciate that. Helps us to get the show out there, just like you promoted the other guys. We have a lot of fun doing this, but it's good to know someone's listening to you. And we actually just put out a Patreon account, which is an opportunity for people to actually donate to our show. And you can find that at the patreon.com/geekinonwdw. And thanks for going Geekin on WDW with us. We really appreciate it. And have a good night or drive to work, whatever you're doing right now. See you guys.
See ya.
See you, Kurt.
See ya. Over here this week has been really nice. I think we sort of 68 on
Nice.
where are we? Thursday. It was a little chillier today. It was nice on Wednesday. Yeah, it's been really nice. I mean, I've actually scared some of the ladies and been out in my shorts this week running. So that's frightened a few of the natives off.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, I'm ready if you guys are. So I'll do my intro and then...
Yep, you carry on.
Here we go. I hear someone in my background.
If you can hear banging, it's my tortoise this side.
Your tortoise?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's an ideal pet. Yeah.
Excellent.
I've made the mistake of feeding him, so he's now banging away in his vivarium just by the side of me.
Hold on. We gotta get all this on tape. All right. I think it's going to be fun. My ancestors... Oh, I was just listening. I thought I just heard the toilet flush. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you've got some Irish ancestry in there.
I've got English. And Tony,
you might have got some Irish in there.
It could be.
I've been listening to the podcast from number 2. I can't find number 1.
Oh, is that right?
You do a lot of drinking, don't you?
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion.
I don't know if this should be a podcast or an intervention.
You quantify a lot, though. That's the thing.
I don't know. We just talk about
But he
it.
does a lot of
They
talking
beat
about
you
it,
down
don't you?
There you go.
And go drinking around the road at
It's a mention.
That's it. Tony, what's your heritage with McDaniel?
Scottish, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say. So we got perfect crew here. Scottish, Irish.
Got the United Kingdom covered.
We got the whole United Kingdom covered.
Ooh, well.
Just
we might have a
about.
bit of Welsh in our family with
I
the
was gonna say,
surname Allen.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. There you go. You can always make comments on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I edit it.
Okay,
Music here.
Yeah, this is where the music goes. Exactly. All right.
I thought it was interesting. I travel all the way to Orlando, Florida, to look at a castle, and I have one less than 2 miles from my house.
Excellent.
Ours is probably newer.
Yeah, ours is
Yes,
probably.
so I was up there today. It's 600 years old, so yeah.
Oh, that's
Getting
perfect.
on.
Yeah.
Perfect.